We talked about your Irish roots, right? We're looking at your backdrop and we see the
Yes.
Irish cabinet, right, filled with little gifts. How did that shape your kind of professional mission?
There was always a sense growing up in our family and great Irish families. They're not quiet people. They're very vocal. Music was a big part of that, but the key was education. My both of my parents, my mom immigrated from Ireland and had probably, I'm going to guess, about a fourth grade education, but smart, bright, talented woman who very was very clear. Don't be ever worried about getting married. Get an education because the education will last. So that played a key role in many of the jobs, as I explained early on, as I came back from a broken arm, working in a healthcare system, to early on being interested in the care process, but the educational process as well. My dad was pretty much the same, had maybe a high school education when he finished, but the focus on changing, making a difference with who you are from where you are led really to nursing and seeing the vast ability, even back then, had the insight, and maybe from mentors around me, to see that the nurse made a clear difference in the activities of daily living and life lived in whatever the situation was. And that seemed important to me. So when I did go to graduate school, I had a dad who obviously was as confused. He'd say to me, "Why are you going for a PhD? Why not just be a doctor?" Which
Yeah.
forced me at some point to think, well, maybe I should at least consider what he's saying. And I went over at the University of Maryland, there was a dean, and I went over to the dean of the medical school. And it was so obvious to me in the conversation that I was in the right program for nursing. I cared about people, I cared about systems, I cared about the people who cared about them. And I wasn't looking for cures only individually, trying to make one patient better at a time. I saw systems of care that really needed to affect people, and it wasn't just when they hit the health system, but it was where they lived, how they lived, and all those factors that affect.